Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Game, and we are returning to the ultimate urban sprawl that has become our empire in Humankind. We're playing as the Soviets, of course, and we have just finished our first set of wars here on this continent. Taken the city of Byblos, and, well, we're going to expand over there. Now, in between episodes, I did go ahead and, look at our outlying territories. I hooked up a little bit more of the uranium because we are at the cusp of getting nuclear fission, and that does mean that we're going to get the isotopes here, which is going to improve certain things. So that's going to be interesting. But I did realize that there are a couple of new independent people here. So we're trying to befriend these. Ultimately, we want to get the horses there. It's not much of a thing, but it is there. And we've got the Armenians here. They don't really matter. But we've also got the Congo over here. And these guys do have interesting stuff. They've got signs. They've got a little bit of oil, that doesn't matter too much. Iron, it's okay. But most importantly, I don't want them to attack me and ravage our lands here. Speaking of, look at this territory up here. There's a bit of uranium that I would like to hook up, but there are a couple of guys here that are actively trying to hurt us. So let's bring over a couple of our troops to disrupt that and hopefully drive them off. But I must applaud the gal of these people. They're aggressive there. That being said, I think that is most of the things that we're doing over here. Let's look at our cities. Now, there are a couple of things here that I would like to do. Well, first of all, you guys should get the police. Yes, your stuff is fine now. But I do appreciate if you would support that a little bit more. Right, everything else here seems to be fine. I don't think we should be building too many more districts because our pollution is actually starting to become a problem. And that does mean that the more districts we have, the less influence and the less of everything we're going to get. So that's a bit of a bummer, and I think we do need to take that into account. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go right into fusion reactor because that does increase our industry, but also does reduce our pollution. And that is pretty useful, I think. The other thing that I want to do is actually all the way over here, back into here, basically. I want to get guilds, because that will allow us to plant forests. And you know what? We might actually want to do that first, because that's going to be pretty quick. And it will allow our traders to become a little bit more useful there. So that would be kind of good. I would also like to get chartered companies, but I don't see how we could get that immediately. Now, the Cabinet of Curiosities, the money, these things would be useful. So let's try to get that. Do we want to get the Three Masters chip, though? I don't think we do. Yes, these are kind of nifty things, but honestly, I don't think that's really the important thing. Let's go into naval artillery and then into chartered companies. These things should be done fairly quickly, so I don't think they'll hold us off too long. We could also think about the nature reserve, because it does reduce that a little bit. Ongoing trade is not much of a deal. Nationhood could lead to amphibious warfare, which would be useful. No. But I think the main important thing is going to be the fusion reactor afterwards, so let's not lose sight of that. And you know what? Sorry for being a little bit fluffy here, but honestly I think that's actually going to be more important. So that's how we're going to do it. We are going to go for nuclear fission and then the other things. Right, so with that out of the way, let's get the police force here as well. Let's move everyone up. We've got a couple of idle armies here. That's understandable. I think for now, you guys are just all going to take a break here and be ready for that. Okay, you guys can get down here. You guys, all of the riders, I think we're going to send all of them north to sort of this way and be ready to ravage their lands once we are going to start the new war here, which is going to occur at some point, but probably not immediately. Yeah, you just wait here for a second. We've got these tanks, which I suppose we should be using down here to support this attack whenever that does become relevant. You guys are just going to wait here for another turn. You guys can wait here for another turn. Same here. You guys wait. Then we only got this tank here. That's fine. You guys can all wait just a turn. Now, let's actually check our research. 9,600. If we end the turn, yes, it has increased that by 1,000 just from the nuclear fission and the fact that that uranium is improving our research quarters and our money is going up and sort of everything else too. Also, the nuclear plants are fine and lovely. We also have the nuclear doctrine decision, which we'll now need to take at some point. But I'm afraid we can't because we don't have the influence, and influence is lagging behind so heavily from pollution here that it's really not it's really not funny. But yeah, we'll need to do that, of course, sometime, because this is a militarist run through, and I just need to do that. So let's build some nuclear plants here, because definitively we want to reduce pollution here. So I think that's something that we pretty much want to prioritize on sort of all of our cities, really, even if they would be building some other stuff. This is one of the highest priorities that I can imagine here. So let's continue to do that in Babylon 2, I suppose. You can build the Night Watch afterwards. And Mycenae, you guys, your stability is looking really fine. Yeah, I think, you know what, let's build this up too. And that is really fantastic. You guys, sawmill, yeah, we could build this. That would increase, how much does that actually increase our industry? So that increases us by 2% per uranium we've got, so that's a 10% boost. That's 180 industry. I don't think any of the other ones are as good, with the exception of possibly this. This is 100 industry just from the coal and all of the adjacency bonuses. Can we buy this, I wonder? No. But we should be aiming to get it as soon as possible. It might actually be more important than the sawmill. Right, so yeah, we are building a lot of nuclear things now. Guilds is going to be finished fairly soon, and then we'll be able to build some forests as well, which I appreciate. So that's going to be great. How are you guys doing over here? Why did we lose all of the X's here? Only you guys are left. Our war support is kind of low. Their war support is a little bit higher than that. Well, I do think that if we were to attack them now, we would be able to ravage them pretty good. So honestly, there we go. That's the first war here. Come on, let's take you here. Why can I not move you? Okay, now I can lay siege to them. We're going to maintain that siege for a second here. You guys, let's actually move the cavalry out of the way first, because otherwise they're not going to be able to do something. Oh, I did mean to burn a lot of these things down. Alright. Well, that's fine. Everyone else here is fine. You guys do lay siege to this. And indeed, they are going to attack, so we're going to do the manual battle here. I guess we're going to send the tanks to the front, so that they take the brunt of the attack. These guys are going to be in the rear there, supporting us. And deployment here. They will need now to come out and attack us, because they will need to get this. Oh, they're using their ships. Well, that's certainly a little bit of a bummer, because these guys will be able to attack our tanks. But that being said, so can you actually shoot at the ships too? Yeah, you can. Ah, I like it. Bam. Nice. Victory over here. That's great already. Let's take our submarines and let's take our normal ships here and initiate an attack on their fleet. Our ships should be weaker. They're still going to withdraw because they did see our submarines, so to say. But that's fine, because I don't think they're going to get very far here. And indeed, we should be able to attack them. So, let's go ahead and try to sink their most important ships first. Ooh, look at that. They're not going down immediately. But still, 2 of their ships remaining. The rest has been sunk. They're now going to get a little bit of a revenge here. But I don't think it's going to be too bad. Yeah. Especially as they are splitting out their attacks. So, Yeah, and now these guys are gone because they've got the rear attack here. There we go, that's another victory. And our war support should be looking fine now. Their war support is going to go down because they've got one of their cities occupied. But when I say one of their cities, I would actually very much love for that to be 2 cities. What have they got over here? They've got a lot of defensive forces, simply. Right, you guys are out of movement points. Okay, nevertheless, let's do an assault over here. Yeah, that should be fine. Let's set you over here. That's good. Shoot. Shoot. You can't shoot anyone. You can move in here, though. That would be a bad tile, though, so I don't necessarily want to move exactly there. Let's have you move here. Shoot these guys. Ah, you still... Okay, if you can only move here, then we're going to move there. Everyone will need to now attack this guy, because otherwise they're going to lose. There we go. Another city under our control. Let's move our submarines this way, I suppose. What have we got over here? You know what, you guys, try to burn this down. It's going to take a couple of turns, but actually not that long. So I suppose that's great. Now, these riders, I think the area up here we're going to try to burn a lot more of that simply down. Shall we? We can also try to get access to this. There's a bit of coal, there's a bit of other things that are generally useful. This is all connected up, so this is just one big city. And I've got a lot of people in that city. So maybe we can just burn down a lot of things over here. Might make more sense. Well, I'm guessing we'll need to move our tanks here. And start laying... Okay, if they are down there, then we should probably try to counter that. It's not entirely ideal how we're doing this, but I suppose it's going to be alright. Right, let's send you off towards that city. You guys can also try to get over here. Anyone else who's stationed over here or anything like that? No, you're just burning stuff down. You guys are fine. Okay. Right, oh, someone over here. Can we burn down this area here? No, there's no trade route there. Do we find any ships or anything like that? I don't think we can lay siege to them with a submarine. We'd need a battleship or something like that, but yeah, we'll see, we'll see. Right, so another research done, guilds research, that's cool, close to victory already. How close to victory are we? Their war support is 0, they're actually giving up already. That's a fun little war here. So we have research guilds, that's lovely. Let's try to make use of that, because the pollution here, it's just way too high, and I think some of these things are going to be fairly lovely if we do plant trees all around. That should actually increase our industry, while also being a little bit more eco-friendly, and therefore just simply very lovely. Now I wonder, will that decrease the pollution here to 0? It's not going to last for a very long time, only 2 turns, but during that time I think we're going to have some benefit here. Commodity markets is not something that we need here, but we do probably want to look at that in Hattusha, because you guys do have a lot of traders. So let's do use that. I think that's fantastic. And then what we might want to do, well, we also want to plant a couple of trees here, I suppose, right? So yeah, let's do plant trees pretty much adjacent to our industry things. So everywhere where... Whoa, wait a minute, that was wrong, right? Yes. So everywhere where we do use industry, I think on the river tiles that wouldn't be too bad. So we can build like a natural forest. Well, it's not a natural forest if we build it, I suppose. But there is already a forest here. Yeah, but we can build a forest along the river here. You should be able to do that fairly quickly. Yeah. And I think what we can do here at this point actually is make sure that this is a money and science place, and only then we're going to be talking about industry. So that money should be increased a lot by the commodity market. Doesn't give us any more spots though, so that's interesting. Yeah. Sure, you guys also, how high is your pollution? Very low, 18. I thought it was a little bit more. But fine, I don't mind about that then. Right, where are we going to be placing that? I suppose again on this river here. Dry land. Let's beautify our rivers a little bit. Yeah, that's kind of nice. Napta, you two will need some better tiles here. This is already forest, woodland. Where then? Over here? Stone fields? Bit curious to see where all of these makers' quarters are. I guess over here is fine. Over there. Over there. Yeah, let's build it out like that. You don't have any traders here, so we don't need to be too concerned about that. Let's move everyone up to where they need to be. And then McKinney, you guys were also trying to be a little bit more money orientated, so let's build up these things. Are we seeing pollution here? Yes. So that does mean we're gonna be tree huggers here as well and build out some of this stuff. I think this might actually be a very useful spot there, because all of these are industrial quarters. And that will allow us to actually gain access to something over there. At least that's how I think this is working out, but I don't fully know. Right, let's take care of the war. What are we going to do? We've got this city, we've got that city. We can't burn down anything. We might want to try to find out where the ships are and stuff. I think they're all over here. Well, they do have one group of units here. Shall we try to attack them? What are you actually? Musketeers. First time that we're seeing that sophisticated technology. Ooh, and not just musketeers, but also these guys, which are stealthy. Now this would be our terrain still, right? So we don't need to deal with these guys if, for example, we can, in some fashion, lay siege to them here. Right, so let's try to get this city in this turn and try to strengthen us that way. The tanks can move forward only over here. Right, we are gonna start a siege here. They don't have any reinforcements. We currently do have a couple of reinforcements, mostly these two guys here. Unfortunately, that means you are out of the way there, but you can join up too. Okay, let's do an assault. Of course, a manual battle. Right, I do not want to stand right next to the walls, especially with the cavalry. You guys really... There's really no point for you doing this. So let's try to use our musketeers to fire on their walls wherever that is possible. Yeah, I think it... that should kind of work. And the deployment here. Right, they're not going to do anything, I think. So shall we start by firing at their positions? Interesting that they are, for the first time here, getting to a point where I would say, well, they're not really completely lost. There's someone over there and we can't even see them, so that's unfortunate. Come on, shoot. Let's end around here, see whether they're going to attack or not. Oh, some musketeers? No, some Jazangeris. That's probably badly pronounced, but they have 3 proper units here, which we'll need to be aware of. So, can you actually get into here? You cannot, but you can move forward. You guys can move into here. And, well, over there's fine, but you know what, let's move into here. Can't flank them or anything. You guys can shoot, so let's do shoot. And you guys can at least move forward, and then shoot at these guys. Yeah, all of our cavalry is pointless here, because they can't fire at all. Yeah, we don't have any infantry or tanks. Right, let's end the round. They've still got 3 units. One over here, one over there, one over here. These guys are starting to look seriously wounded. Shoot them. You're going to move in and you're going to capture their flag now, so that's going to be great. You guys can pull back. You're going to move forward simply to present a target, really. And the turn. One of our units here is out of the fight, basically, at least. But it is a victory, and that does mean we now control this city. And that in turn, Jesus, just look at how big it is. So many research quarters. There's another fight here somewhere. Oh, interesting. These guys were meeting us too. And we now have these cogs. I think this is the first time that we're actually going to go in a naval battle here with you. But I think they are superior to their ships. I'm not entirely sure though. So let's check that out. Well, we did sink them. Yeah, there we go. That's another victory. So we did free up these guys. Let's build out this little bit of nuclear zone there, and that should be cool. Right. So how are we looking down here now? Do we have any chance of attacking these guys over there? I think we do not. Basically, all of our guys are out of movement points, and that means we now need to negotiate with them. Now, the first one I think that I want is Sidon, including Alfonsi. And then we should also talk about Lublin and Piop. Jesus. And that's already too much. We don't have... We cannot claim that much. So, if we don't go for Lublin, but still Piopter, no, that doesn't work either. So basically we can only get this terrain down here. This is a slow process, I have to admit.
You've made the right choice. Amazing. You go where you do not belong. Make fairness must return.
Let's issue a lot of demands. Let's also talk to them and refuse all of their demands.
But no deal is better than...
And that's okay. Now, our stuff over here is looking pretty bad, so we actually need to burn down Sidon. And then we're going to try to re-establish that right away afterwards. Right, submarines, you're doing fine. I think you can stay where you are. Sidon, just... I don't know, I guess you can build a uranium mine. It's not going to be ready either way. Anyway, so you guys fine over here. We've got some troops there. Let's actually try to establish you here further in the north. You are actually going to be stationed here because you're going to be attacking them next time around whenever you can. You're actually now going to go and continue to try to get this terrain. Mostly out of spite really at this point. And then what we can do is... You did withdraw already, so I think you cannot withdraw again. And that means you should now be pretty much screwed. And the deployment here. Pull up a couple of our cavalry, I guess. Okay, so what do they actually have? So they've got a lot of their special units. That's fine. Now, we of course want to... I don't think there's a river tile. No, it is not. There we go. And send one of you here. One of you is going to go there. Ah, there's another unit there. I did not realize that, but of course they do have that stealth bonus. You'll need to withdraw. But you guys should be able to finish them off. Bam, there we go. Increased by 8. Is that really true? Somehow I think sometimes that just doesn't register correctly. But that's fine. Right, so you know what, you guys, let's get you all somewhere over here. I think that's probably where you will want to be for the next round. Now, you guys did fine over here, but I suppose we could start threatening their flank here. So you just stay in and wait and be reloaded here. You guys are going to move over there, that's fine. You guys are going to be stationed here. You guys do keep an eye on them from there. And then what are we researching now? Fusion reactor, that's great. Let's take a look at the pollution here. I think in Kerma, it's currently 43. You're going to be founding all of these forests down here. And apparently that didn't do anything. This is now a forest, you don't see it, but... was it just specific to this area here? From reforested, but only one. So maybe that only provides a single bonus per turn per territory? Yeah, so I think firstly it only applies to this territory. And secondly, even though we did apply that to like 6 tiles, it only pretty much registered that for 1. So what that means is we should be doing that in every area here. But sort of separately. Yeah, I think that works. Nothing else here that you want to buy? How about you guys? Yeah, pollution here is still a little too high. But here it's probably going to be lower. Yeah, but only by 1. So let's try to expand that to other territories here. This territory, we probably want one over here. And certainly one over in this territory if we can. Hattusha? Yeah, same over here. So where did we build them? Did get one over here? Yeah. Yeah, see, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Right, so it's per territory. Which is fine, you just need to know. We haven't really taken that much care of some of the mechanics in terms of reforestation and pollution and such. You are pretty much doing all of the money things that you can, I think. So that's fine. There's another war over... Who are you? Who are you? You're looking Soviet. I didn't know much about these attackers. Well, we are going to be placed on the river tiles here. That's unfortunate. But what can we do? There we go. Wipe them out. Unknown attackers. Really weird. No, that's not what. This is what I want. Yeah, we are just being disrupted here all of the time, though. Babylon, how are you guys doing? Let's plant forests. These are almost a food terrain. Did you ever build the nuclear reactor? Don't think you did. Noptam, I think again. Yeah, you're benefiting from reforested. Yeah, we've really confirmed that by now. This is just counting sort of wherever you just stand at that moment. These are all good. You don't have any traders, so we don't need that. Now we've got a bunch of units here. I think you're all going to be stationed here for now. So we're not actively going to move you. Well, that's not true. We can send one of you over here. One of you over there. And let's have everyone sort of go towards these areas there, towards the cacao. Because that is evil, really. Sorry, coffee. Food per farmers? Ha! Laughable. What a horrible suggestion. That means you would have farmers. We don't like farmers. Right. Everyone else here is going to be stationed, though, so you don't need to move up too much. You're going to be alright like that. You guys did take a bit of a beating here, so you actually need to come home. And then be healing up. You can be stationed there. You guys, unfortunately, did not manage to burn that down. We're just going to heal you up. Who? Can we attack you? You guys can make ready to land over here. Where did they withdraw to? To the south. Well, that's lovely. We can probably go for an instant resolution here. Yes, we can. Does our war support truly increase? Our war support is actually super high already. They could attack us, we can't attack them. Right, so you have burnt down this area down here. Well, that is lovely. Let's get another outpost. It is going to be costly in terms of influence, but it does give us access to all of this stuff. And that does in particular mean that we can get another uranium, which does cost us something, of course, but still it's going to retain the benefit of all of these things. Right, that's good. It's a bit unfortunate that the forests don't stack, really, but what can we do? Right, I suppose you guys can burn down stuff down here, right? Yeah, you can. Good, good, I like it. Trophy unlocked. All you can eat buffet. Produce at least 1,000 food and re-wilder. So that was potentially something about the forest there. Now, our pollution here should be going down significantly now. Very low pollution, +1 per turn. -1 from fusion reactor. -10 from reforested. +3 from maker quarters and coking works. But it's going down, isn't it? +4. Yeah, it's only halving the maker's quarters, but not the coking works. And the coking works are a little bit out of trouble here. Right, nevertheless, fusion reactor is a super great thing for us to research. So what else are we going to go for then? So, well, in terms of pollution reduction, the only things that really do work, I think, are renewable energies, right? So that would be the remaining minus 50% on Maker's Quarters. That should be pretty good. Renewable energy does require a couple of things though. Civil engineering, I suppose? No point really researching that. Power lines? Yeah, we can't go directly into power lines. Power lines, suburbs into renewables. 5 turns. Power lines are kind of cool. Also because of the hydroelectric dam. Okay, let's research them quickly. And then what the other thing that we do want is... You know what? Let's do it the other way around. Because I think we can't even build the dam. No, we can build the dam. Okay, let's do it this way. We're going to research that. Then we're going to go into aerial warfare, radar, and rocket science. Because ultimately we'll probably want to launch some nukes. We are doing that run, so that was not a big surprise there, wasn't it? Was it? And then into renewable energy, for which we need aluminium anyway, and therefore we do need the aerial warfare. So yeah, I think that does make sense. What else? 1,000 years hence. The success of nuclear power across the empire cannot be denied. With sites producing clean energy not beset by problems associated with pollution or greenhouse gas emission, however, there's the question of what are we going to do with that. We can make ourselves a little bit more authoritarian, a little bit more towards homeland. I do like homeland, or we can completely ignore that. Let's export it. We're going to export the problems. Right, that's great. What did we just research? No, I think, yeah, it was fusion. So, that's great. Again, how is pollution looking? 16 per turn. 31 from Maker's Quarters, we're halving that, but the coking works. Yeah, so we are still a net contributor of pollution. It's become a lot better, but it's still pretty bad. So how can we counter that? And when are we actually going to get enough influence here to... curiously enough, we're not seeing the negative influence here from that. So that's great. We are making a lot more influence now. So at least it has helped a little bit. It does mean we'll need to continue to build up our forests, though. Which is okay, but... yeah, it's a little bit difficult to... power lines. Is there anything else there sort of that we missed in the tech tree that we haven't been using for? Fortifications, so we don't never build walls, siege tactics. These would be kind of useful to get more unit slots and such. But I don't think that's really required. Chartered companies, useful for a couple of things. Money mostly. Nationhood. We should be trying to get nationhood. If for nothing else, then for the nature reserve. Yeah, that's a useful technology. Why are we going to go wireless telegraph? Free trade agreement? Mechanized harvesting? No, sorry. These are not things that I really wanted. Power lines is something that I want. Rocket science is something that I want. So what's in the queue now? Power lines, aeronautics. Let's forget about aeronautics for now and go nationhood. Yeah, I think that's about it. Right, so unfortunately that does mean I'm going to have to plant a whole lot of forests sort of everywhere, every couple of turns. And that's probably something that I want to do off screen. Oh, notice that we are creating pollution from the Cyclopedian fortresses. Interesting. I did not expect that. Yeah, but the coking works are a problem because the coking works are not reduced by any of the other things. Now that being said, I think this is a good place to put in a cut. So, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I do hope to see you around next time. Bye bye!